So hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A pleasure to speak to you both. Maybe you could kick off with a brief introduction to this film. Max, why don't you give us a brief synopsis? So people who don't know anything about it, how would you describe a bit about what they could expect?
Love Song is a gentle, whimsical Western romance shot in rural Colorado, where I'm from and live. It stars the great Dickey, who's sitting next to me, as Faye, widowed woman who reunites with a childhood sweetheart from long ago, played by the also very great Wes Studi. And it's about loneliness and love and nature and rebirth.
And what was your inspiration for the story? Because obviously there's quite a few films that take the American West as their setting. I think the most recent one that springs to mind is Nomadland, but this has quite a different tone and feel to it. So where was your inspiration for the story, and why was this location something that appealed to you?
It's where I live. It's what I know. I wouldn't know how to make a movie anywhere else, I guess. Inspiration-wise, not one clear thing, but there's a lot of roots in the soil. Fell in love. Love entered my life. At the same time, it was kind of departing from some of those around me. A lot of the really tough and gentle people who raised me and shaped me. And then I just had this admiration for Dale here ever since I first saw her, and the image of her and the landscapes of my home was in my head for years. And eventually, I guess all those things I was thinking about and that sort of image started to turn into characters and scenes and a script and a film. We're honored to we were lucky enough to get to make it and get into to share it with the world.
And for you, Dale, what was the initial appeal? Was it script, or what drew you in about playing this character?
The initial appeal was I got a beautiful, beautiful letter from Max about what he was wanting to do, why he wanted me to embody Faye. And when you get a letter from like that, particularly as a character actress who's used to sort of popping in and out, and a chance to do a lead role, and someone that believes in you, I was so touched and honored. And then I read the script and I was like, I have to do this. The pureness and simplicity of it frightened me, because doing a lead role with that much quiet time, am I able to do this? There's over the years, there's people I want to emulate and have that stillness and that simplicity. And after meeting Max, I read your introduction online and your backstory, and having grown up in Tennessee, those stories from the heart of the region you're in, that drew me to Max, wanting to, after being in big cities, go back and tell the stories of his land, because those are the ones that don't get made, and they're important, traditional stories that are often not told, that are so beautiful. So I related to Faye in many ways. I'm a nature lover. I am not afraid to be alone in nature and live simply, but the loneliness, I think it's universal. And a strong woman character drew me to it. And I could not have been, I say it's the icing on the cake that I got there and I met Max and his crew, mostly people he'd gone through film school with. They were so well-oiled. I laid out my insecurities. I trusted him explicitly. And it was just a beautiful, passionate, caring film that I was very proud to be a part of.
And tell us a bit about what the shoot was like. I mean, it really is kind of in quite harsh environment. It doesn't seem like you could get much shade out there, and it's quite stripped back. But there's also these moments of kind of comedy. I don't know, there's like an interesting tone. So maybe you can tell us about shooting the film, and Max, particularly, how did you want it to look and feel?
Well, we shot in the fall of 2020. During COVID, and we decided the safest way to do it would be to create a bubble out there in the wilderness. So the 8 or so of us crew and the couple actors entered this world, these ranch houses and this lake and this mountain, and then we were cut off from everything, and we relied on our neighbors and on the communities around us to feed us and
bring us food,
keep us supplied and take care of us. And the great unanticipated pleasure of that was that even though it took some getting used to, we all of a sudden were in this safe, intimate human place again, where we could give each other hugs and share meals, and kind of through our isolation had found connection kind of runs through the blood of the film as well, that theme. And every day we would drive the dirt road to the location and look at the beautiful mountain lone cone above us and listen to our music, and then shoot mostly outside for the day. And rhythms of nature would dictate a lot of what we did. You know, sometimes we would want it to be sunny and it would be cloudy and gray, but other times the moon comes over the horizon at a moment you never imagined it would, or like a sunset hits you that's just beautiful in some incredible way. And that's like the happy trade-off that we take shooting in nature out there. And we take the challenges because the payoffs are so pleasurable.
And just very quickly, finally, so what do you hope people will take away from watching it? Because, you know, there is kind of this beautiful love story and connection, but there's also loneliness, there's resilience. So, you know, what do you think people take away at the end of the film?
I hope the film kind of leaves people crying and smiling all at the same time. You know, I think that's beauty, basically, and I hope it delivers some sense of to magic and the mystery of love, including for those who aren't sharing it with anyone in particular. But I hope, it celebrates the beauty of love in all of our lives, regardless the kind of the status of it.
I agree. And I've realized since we're still here in this COVID area, that it not only is it the loneliness of when the grief of when you lose a loved one, whether it's a parent or a partner, but the whole world has felt so isolated and alone. A lot of my single friends that have no one, being by yourself in that isolation, I think everyone can relate to connection, the importance of human connection, and everyone can relate to grief and loss. And I particularly a strong female character and a middle-aged couple in a romance has not usually been seen. And I think that's inspiring. And I want people to go away. I want them to be moved and give them hope.
It's been such a pleasure to speak to you both. Thank you so much. And enjoying presenting your film at the Berlin Film Festival.